So today we'll take a look on introduction to product design. So my name is Alinafe Mtitimila from IdealabMw. I'll be taking you through product design. I once learned about engineering design, so it's a little bit similar, but product design, it's a general concept. So you add stuff like from engineering, you put them here, but in product design, it's a topic which encompasses every sector of life. Everyone here can create a product. So you should know how to design your product that suits your customers' needs, because at the end of the day, you need the customers to buy your product so that you can increase your profits at the end of the day. So what is product design? So product design is the all-encompassing process of creative problem solving. So in this case, I already say that product design, it encompasses everything in order to solve a problem. But take the keyword creative problem solving. So there are processes in order to come up with a creative solution. So we will take a look on those processes as we go along in this course. So it's the thoughtful, intentional application of design knowledge to craft functional, intuitive user experience. So your audience is your customer. It is not you. It's not how you feel. It's not how you imagine the product. It's not about that. It's about how you satisfy your customers, how you meet their needs. That's about product design. So I believe by the end of this course, your minds will open and you'll be able to come up with ideas and implement our design products that when you put them on the market, everyone is going to rush to it. So why are we learning product design? Why product design? It's there in the world. Why most companies, most successive companies, they use product design? So the first thing is to satisfy customers and maximize the value for the customer at minimum cost. So as I already said, that your target audience is your customer. So you want to satisfy their needs. It's not your needs. It's not how you imagine how cool it is in your mind, but your target audience is the customer. So you need to make sure that the customer is satisfied and is able to do that at a minimum cost. You are increasing the value of the product at a minimum cost. You don't need to overcharge the product because nobody or few people are going to buy it. So the second thing is to effectively communicate that meaning of the product to the customer. So I believe that there are some other products out there that you can't even know, or you have less information what are the use of that product in your life, and you can't even care of buying that product. But in product design, you are able to collaborate or communicate to your customer, to your consumer, and they will be aware of the meaning or of the use of your product. So in that case, you build a powerful relationship with your customer, and they will be lashing to your product. I'm gonna give you an example of Apple, the iPhone. The iPhone is an expensive phone, but you can see that Apple is phone made for people, because I am not using an iPhone. I once used an iPhone before. It was an older model, but you understand that when you're using an iPhone, it's like it speaks to you, it talks to you, because the company itself, it makes sure that when they're advertising their phone, they're advertising in the use case that everyone can use on daily basis. You understand, they have sensors, they track your sleep, they have the Apple Watch, it tracks your snow, lots of things at once, and it's able to do that in an effective way. So you are able to communicate, build a relationship with your customers with product design. And for your own information, Apple spends more money in product design, in research and development. I think this last year they spent of I think about 45 billion US dollars in coming up with those products. So you understand that product design, it's a trending thing out there in the world. So let us take a look on process of product design. The first thing, you define the problem. The second thing, you ideate the solution to your problems, and you collaborate with other teams. You validate solutions, present your work to stakeholders. We'll learn what stakeholders are all about. Work with engineers to implement your ideas, record and measure metrics, build skills, and repeat. So let us take a look on what it means when we say define the problem. So in this case, you work with a multitude of stakeholders to solidify goals of intended projects and its relationship to the needs of the business. So you ask questions to your stakeholders, because a stakeholder can be anyone who is involved in the making of that design or device, or anyone who is going to benefit from that device. So that is a stakeholder, anyone involved in the population that you are doing. It can be your engineers, it can be the people around you, the society, and your customers as well. So you work with multitude of stakeholders. You ask lots of questions to lots of stakeholders, people you are targeting with your device. So you get the information from them on what the problems they are facing. So we represent this is represented as cooperation in validation of pain points, collaborative prioritization of various features, unanimous agreement of list of requirements. I would say that these things you are able to get from them by asking questions. You can ask a question. They can give you as like when they say unanimous agreement of list of requirements, it's what they want. By maybe a certain group of people, they want something. So they want, maybe when we say collaborative prioritization of various features, they want some features to be first implemented before other features. They want them, if they want that feature maybe in their company, they can improve the efficiency on their daily tasks. So that's what it is saying. But in this case, you are able to identify the problems your customers or anyone around you is facing. So to your side now, you ideate solutions. This is the most misunderstood step in product design. And in this case, when we say ideate solutions, it means brainstorming solutions. You can brainstorm anything you want, anything you can imagine. You can just brainstorm it. I want this to be like this. Okay, for example, I'm gonna give you an example of treating diabetes. You can understand that there are solutions out there in the world, maybe traditional medicine, or there are some advanced technologies out there. You can just think of that. You can just ideate. So it originates from design sprints, competitive audits, or low fidelity sketches. Just do anything, just go for it. So the main task here is try to create a range of exploration among constraints. So you know that I already said that you should think of anything or that can solve the problem the customers or your stakeholders are facing, and you are just creating them. So you don't need to give yourself a limit. You just need to come up with any idea, brainstorm any idea. Now, once you do that, we'll learn about how to ideate solutions in a very comprehensive way. So once you ideate solutions, you collaborate with other teams. So in this case, it helps in providing background context on a problem, showcasing early stage designs to other members on the team. One receives valuable feedback to expand on. So what that sentence is talking about is once you have the solutions, you need to showcase it to others so that you should receive feedback. To your friend, to someone on the road, just tell them, this is what I'm working on. What do you think? Or you can tell that to your stakeholder. So it's beneficial in pinpointing certain design directions over others and or proposing suggestions the author might not have considered. So in this case, you are not the Einstein in this world. You are not the Einstein of everything. So you will need other people to help you in coming up with other solutions. So a good product designer is open-minded. That's the good thing. He is open-minded. So you have to open your mind to feedback and what others think, because your product is not for you, it's for your customers. So if you get information from others, valid information from others, you are able to change that product in the way your customer needs. And also it's also the perfect chance for one to better comprehend what other projects are in flux or offer and offer a lending hand to others. So you're able to get information on if there are other products that are very suitable for your project that you can work hand in hand in order to improve your product. And it's also important that branding and design systems and marketing teams are great players to incorporate in the feedback channel. I always say that marketing teams, they're able to interact with customers. So it's good to work hand in hand to this with these people, because they will be able to tell you what customers needs, what trending technologies are out there, so that you can make some changes to your product. So after that, you validate the solution, because you have ideated the solutions. Now you validate them. So how do we validate the solution? It's incredibly paramount to collect, record, analyze data to either support your designs, decisions, or point attention to areas that need consideration. So what it's trying to say is you collect data on the solutions that you're working on, so that you can see the optimal solution that you can continue to produce the required or desired results that you are working on. So there are methods of validating your solutions. First one is open and closed card sorting. So in this case, you call upon stakeholders. They write feedback for your prototype or solution that you are thinking of. Then they give you feedback. So unmoderated and the moderate interviews, you ask questions, heuristic evaluations, you make some analysis to your solutions, and the right user testing method. So right user testing method is very important to mostly engineers. So if you are an engineer in this training program, we are going to use right. So right is a rapid it's rapid testing and evaluation. So it's rapid iterative testing and evaluation. If you heard about rapid prototyping, this is a step. You just need to come up with a device, just build something else, and continue building and still getting feedback. You have built something, show it to stakeholders. I have built something else, and they give you feedback and you change it. So that's right. So if you're an engineer, you are going to use right in this course. So once you have validated the solutions, you present your work to stakeholders. So all of the hard work a project designer puts into the design process is then shown to the leadership team. Discussions are held with stakeholders and leadership to deliberate approvals to all changes made to the product. So in this case, I would say the stakeholders are people who are involved in the making of that device, or they are beneficiaries of that device. So in this case, the stakeholders which we are talking about here are the ones involved in making the device. They can be the investors, they can be partners. So you present it to your partners and say, this is what I am doing. If you are working on your own project, you don't necessarily need to do this, but most of your stakeholders, they are going to be important when it comes to getting information or collaborating with the team, so that you can get their feedback. But if you are working for a certain company, you're presenting a product, it's good to follow this step and present it, the work to the stakeholders. They need to approve the changes that you have made, because it's very important that they approve the changes, because they are your investors. If you make changes without letting them know, they are going to pull off from investing in your design. So another step is to work with engineers to implement your ideas. So if you are not an engineer, you need to work with the engineering team, the technical team. So you need to make sure that the design that has been approved by the stakeholders, it looks up to par to the one that is there, that it's coming in the physical form. So you need to make sure that you work with the engineers to implement your idea. If you are an engineer already, you know that this is a step that I need to take in order to come up with the final product. So you know the steps, and we will also learn some of the steps in this course. Another step, last but one, is to record and measure metrics. This is very important because once you deploy the product out there in the world, you need to make sure that the metrics are recorded in order to analyze for future months ahead. So that in this case, you're able to know the impact of your device out there in the world. So this is it helps also to ensure that the designs are performing well and to revert or make changes in the case they aren't. So in this case, you are able to change or order the device. If you have ever heard about some of the companies, they can recall a certain product or cars so that they can make some changes to their components. So this is the step they took in project design. So another step is build skills. This is very important because as a good project designer, you need to invest in education. So you need to make sure that you are building skills every day. And some of the skills are animation, illustration, prototyping, and visual design. So you are able to build these skills on your own so that you can be able to provide prototypes or products to the stakeholders. So let us take a look on the last part, which is called repeat. So in this case, I always say, if you actually follow the steps of project designing, you can easily implement each and every project in your lifetime with these steps. So you don't need actually to forget about that, because this is very important when it comes to each and every project which out there. Maybe you are working in a company and they're asking you to come up with a website or a certain device. You need to follow these steps, because these steps are very important in coming up with a solution that can bring impact to everyone in that company or everyone whom you are working with. So let us take a look on tools for product designing, and some of the tools we'll use them in this course. So the first tool is Notion. So Notion, I think I already sent the link on Discord to download Notion. So Notion is a collaborative tool, and it's used in task management. It's like project management, but in a very intuitive way. So you can work with Notion, and the same company also has got an application called Todoist. So Todoist it's also a task management system whereby you can collaborate with your friends on task, and you can check the deadlines. You can also check send files to others in order to check for the project that you're working on. Another tool is Figma. So Figma is also coming again in this course. It also appeared in website development, because Figma, even though it's web designing tool, it's also a collaborative tool. You can send the design that you have worked online to your friends to check and give feedback. Another tool is Adobe Illustrator. We are also going to use Adobe Illustrator in this course in order to build a certain, we are going to build a bottle to represent to our stakeholders. So it's a very wonderful software that will focus in this course. Another tool is Adobe Photoshop. So Adobe Photoshop, I think most of us, we know Adobe Photoshop. We are not necessarily going to use this tool, because the things that we want, they are found in Adobe Illustrator. So it's also a good tool to use that in Photoshop. There is Cinema 4D and Autodesk Fusion. These are 3D designing softwares. So these softwares are going to be available in the professional course, but these the softwares, they are very good. They are used in these big industries to coming up with a 3D structure that you can present to your customers, and they'll be able to relate it in the real world. So they are very good too. They also require high-end hardware, so that's why we are not using them in this course, but we only use Notion. We're going to use Figma and Illustrator. So at this juncture, this is all I had for you in this course. So if there are any questions and any comments, or you want a certain something else to be explained to you, this is a moment for you to ask questions or give any comments. You can use the message chat to send your questions, or use the mic as well. All right, from Lucky, you're saying brief summary for the lesson. So we are talking about product design. So in product design, we are focusing on providing solutions to your customers or stakeholders that can solve their problems. So we saw the importance of coming up with product designing. One of the importance is you actually satisfy your customers, you satisfy your stakeholders what they want. It's not you that you want to satisfy, but you are satisfying your products. In such a case, you'll be increasing your profit by selling that product to the market. And also you can communicate effectively to the customers, because you're able to know what they want, what they need. So the product design process helps you to do that. And another step we took is to see the processes of product designing. So we have defined the problem. We also have to, we have seen collaborating with teams. There are 9 steps that you take in order to come up with a good product design process. So these processes, they help you to come with a product that cannot be denied by the market. So you are able to collaborate with the teams, you're able to get feedback, you're able to prototype, to show to your stakeholders. And the good part about product designing, I know that most of us, maybe we don't have the money to come up with the design that we want. But the good part about the product design, you can have stakeholders. You can go to a company and pitch for something else. And what I know that most of these companies out there, they want a prototype. They want to see if you are working on that project. So product design helps you and gives you tools that you can prototype it, and you can get funds from those stakeholders. I have friends that they have taken grants from outside Malawi with a simple prototype. So I believe that you can also do the same. You can also come up with a prototype, work with your stakeholders, and with product design, it can ease the work that you can take in order to gain the final prototype or the final device. So that's my brief summary to the lesson. But if you want to hear the full lesson that we had, I'll upload the video on YouTube and send the link on the group in order to access the lesson. So I don't know if I have answered your question, like. Any questions so far? So thank you, like. Any questions so far? All right, you are not on Discord. I will send the steps on the WhatsApp forum. Please log in and make sure that you go on Discord. Please, because it's easier for me to communicate in each and every course that we are taking on Discord rather than on WhatsApp. So please make sure that you open an account for Discord and you log in on Discord. But I'll send the instructions and the links on WhatsApp, so no problem. All right, any questions? All right, if you have maybe questions later on, use the ask question channel on Discord for this course. So I just want to open your mind on this course. This course is I would say 70% comprehensive and the 30% practicals, because there will be questions that you need to partake in order to become a good project design. So there are also some other tasks that I'll be giving you, like pitching to anyone you want. Maybe if you have a boss or someone, pitch to them a project. You can take any project as an exercise and to follow the steps and see the outcome of your of the exercise that you are partaking. So this is a very interesting course. All the courses that I'm teaching, they need to undergo through this course, because you can be skilled, you can know cool skills out there, but if you don't know how to sell them, then that's a very big problem. Then it's like you are dying with your skill in your hand. But with this course, I'm telling you, and I am also encouraging others that are taking maybe only web designing, only mobile app development, to also take a look at some of the concepts in this course, so that you know how to sell your project out there. You can earn millions of Malawi Gwaja with a single project. But if you know how to present it and how to follow these steps, so that you can produce a project that the customers needs. And we also take a look at examples on some of the projects out there that you can't even think about, but there are millionaires out there working on a certain project. They have worked on a certain project that solved problems. So we'll see on examples on those projects as well. So anyway, let us meet next week. We'll meet next week on Friday, 10 a.m. as well. So make sure that you prepare your environment and you download the softwares. If you have any questions, I do answer text messages on WhatsApp, on Discord as soon as possible. I always make sure I do that. So I do answer those questions. Please make sure you ask me lots of questions. I can answer all of them. So make sure you do that. I have seen a hand raised from Togo. Right. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Make sure that you participate in this course every time, because I think so most of us, we are skilled people here, but you have projects in mind that you want to work them in the real world. I will direct you, and there are also bonuses. I also teach you how you can get your project manufactured from China. I'm collaborating with someone who has done that before. So how to collaborate? You don't need to work on these things on your own. So how you can create good bottles or products from China at a cheaper price. They can assemble those things for you, come here and just be selling them. So, you know, there are tools out there that if you know them, yeah, you're going to change the world. So I believe in you guys. Let's do this and see you next week, Friday, from 9 a.m. So thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful day.